Wagwan Farm, much love to you all. Welcome to our podcast, The Higher Level. As always, we are going to be discussing a broad range of trending topics from geopolitics, economics, sports, and general things in life, so that our brains and awareness of this world can grow together as one nation on this planet. I'm here with my Latino brethren from California, Senor Sanchez.
Yeah, man, and I'm here with my Jamaican brother from South London. Good evening, Dr. Wagwan.
Good evening. How's them virtual surfing classes you've been teaching going for you?
Oh, yeah, man, getting used to it now. I'm teaching them little kids via the Zoom. It's a lot of fun, you know. Really, the kids, they just play surfing on their boards in their lounge room. They're not really learning.
Yeah, bruv. And I bet it gives some time for them mamacitas to get that personal time in it.
Oh, yeah. They say hello sometimes, you know, whenever I sign me in. They give me that wink and the smile, you know. I smile back, I guess.
Yeah, man. You a virtual babysitter, fam. Yo, everybody. A few weeks ago, we declared that we will be the voice of resistance in exposing the stupidity of the Chinese Communist Party, also known as the CCP. And we are going to continue this movement, man. This week, they have tried to divert attention away from themselves, but instead continue to highlight their pettiness and immaturity. This
Oh,
week, this week, the Beijing embassy issued a statement to its citizens stating that a pneumonia outbreak is occurring in Kazakhstan, which the Kazakh government are denying. Now, whether it is true or not is not the point. My point is the diversion tactics the CCP are deploying. They made statements and then retracted their statements in, like US Trump fashion. They first stated that it had a higher mortality rate than COVID 19, but then they removed that statement. And then they referred to the virus as the Kazakhstan pneumonia, but later changed it to it's non-COVID pneumonia.
yeah, but what about the double standard? They're complaining when someone call it the Wuhan virus. They call it
Yeah, man.
so this double standard, man. It's not fair, man.
No, it's stupid, man. They're diverting tension away from themselves. Because right now, everyone in the world hates the CCP. They do nothing good, man. What have they been doing that has been positive to the world in the last few months? Fucking
What
nothing, man.
what did they do that's been positive anytime? That's my question. That is the real question.
Mm,
What did they
that's,
do? And
I,
also, can I ask you, in 2015, 16, there was a swine flu, and
mm-hmm,
it is spreading everywhere in China. And then they used to call it Africa swine flu. Then they
mm-hmm.
changed their name. They wanted to call it Kaohsiung swine flu from Taiwan. The swine flu is from Taiwan. But that's bullshit. It wasn't from Taiwan. Why they make this bullshit? This is all bullshit.
Man, CCP, this is all they do, bro. Make
Unbelievable.
propaganda. They speak propaganda to their people, and then they get so caught up in it, they think they can speak propaganda to the world, and the world is just going to eat it up. It's like sometimes when you get mothers, new mothers with their babies, right? They talk baby language, and then they forget, and they go out and mingle with their friends, and they're still talking baby language. The CCP, this is what they do. When they speak their propaganda bullshit, they think they can continue to speak bullshit to the world.
Man, this is a demonstration of the CCP culture, the mindset of those in power. These people, they must think that the ordinary citizen is dumber than the people in the government, and they would just swallow the propaganda that the CCP is spitting into them. But
Mm,
we see through the smoke and the mirror. You and I, we see their pathetic attempt of diversion. We see it for what it is. That's why I
mhm,
mentioned the importance of the free world, developing a news outlet away independent from the CCP,
mhm,
free world news sources, also to
mhm,
translate into Mandarin so that people who don't understand English can read it, to help educate those against the deceptive CCP propaganda.
Hmm. The WHO, they're investigating and they're following up on this virus. But we educated people know that the World Health Organization, it can be debated as whether they've been compromised or not. Because in the last few months, when this whole pandemic thing come about, right, a lot of people thought that China had a very strong, no, sorry, not China, the CCP, the C fucking P, man, they had a strong influence amongst the staff in the WHO.
German, there was thought to be influence that the China government have on WHO, but now there's increasing evidence that it's not just a rumor or perception. This is the truth. We see from the behavior of both Chinese members of staff of the WHO, but also foreign staff, such as that Canadian doctor, Bruce
Mm-hmm,
Aylward. You know that man? He hung
mm-hmm,
up on that beautiful Hong Kong lady. He said, I can't hear you. Man, fucking, you can't
man,
hear the beautiful lady talking to you. You just
man,
rude, man. You just rude. When she said the
mm,
word Taiwan, you just stop talking to her, you hang up the phone.
oh man,
Very rude.
double
And
standards, bro.
also he not gonna be good with the women if that's how he behave.
Mm,
But that I think that's confirmed now. The WHO is infiltrated. It needs
mm-hmm,
completely either complete scrap, or maybe
mm-hmm,
new organization, or
mm-hmm.
root and branch reform, complete reform, because
I,
it's completely compromised, man.
mm-hmm. I
They can't
agree
be
with you,
trusted.
bro. I agree with you. I concur that fact, man. They need to wipe the slate clean and then create a new organization. Just like in the States, there's been calls for the police in some states to be defunded and a new replacement organization that is more engaged with the community, to replace them. Same thing needs to be done with the WHO. And the United States have already pulled out funding for it. That's just the beginning. And the WHO, they don't even include Taiwan. Why don't they include Taiwan, bruv?
Yeah, there's probably short answer, long answer, I guess.
Hmm.
Short
Short
answer is
answer is because
China.
CCP,
Short answer, CCP. Yeah.
yeah, fucking CCP, man.
That's why I think the USA should say, WHO, you include Taiwan. You don't want to include Taiwan, we don't enter this organization. Why you
Mm-hmm,
don't include Taiwan?
mm-hmm,
Democratic, freedom of speech, human rights. It's a country, it did very well. It has a very
mm-hmm,
good health system. Why did you
mm-hmm,
not include it?
mm-hmm,
Why? So I think USA is gonna say, we're not part of this organization. Either you bring in Taiwan or we're not coming. We
mm-hmm.
make our own club.
And the CCP, they power, even the world governments, free world governments, they understand that the CCP are evil, but they are still very acutely aware of not crossing the line or trying not to bridge up too much with the CCP. You know, in the free world, during this whole pandemic, no one is really talking about how well Taiwan have done. There's been individuals who have created some YouTube channels or come out in the media and made statements, but they made statements as individuals. You know, no one has really recognized how well Taiwan government has been to protect the citizens against this call it the CCP virus.
You call it what it came from, I guess.
Came from the CCP, prof. That's where it fucking came from. Also this week, China says it will not recognize UK overseas passports. What the umber is this, man?
Cha! Oh my God! You
This,
can't believe
this is just a direct attack against the British government.
100%, man. This is unbelievable. This is Hong Kong citizen. Do you know?
Mm,
And China saying they will not recognize the British national overseas passport as legal travel document. What this
Mm-hmm.
mean? This could mean 3 million Hong Kong citizens eligible for this passport could be banned from leaving Hong Kong by Chinese government. This is Iron Curtain. Do you remember in Soviet Union they put the
Mm-hmm.
wall up and
Mm-hmm.
then nobody coming out of Berlin,
Mm-hmm.
everybody trapped?
Mm-hmm.
This is the wall starting to be built. First is whispers, then also you have to say this was written in the treaty between China and Britain. When Britain handed over Hong Kong to China, they came with condition. Now,
Mm-hmm.
China doesn't have to follow the condition, but if China breaks a rule of its own agreement, who gonna make an agreement with China in the future? Because they look at the example from Britain and they say, you made an agreement with Britain and you break every promise in the agreement. Why we gonna trust you? Why we gonna deal with you? This is
Mm-hmm.
bad for Hong Kong, but also now nobody gonna wanna deal with China because they can't be trusted, you know? This is a
Mm-hmm.
warning, big warning. This was made at a press conference by the Chinese ambassador to the UK, Liu Xiaoming. He warned that it was hard to imagine a global Britain that bypassed or excluded China. Decoupling from China, he said, would mean decoupling from growth and a future, he suggested. This is big word. Now, the question I have for you and the British people, are you gonna take it? Are you gonna lie down and keep taking it? Or what you gonna do?
Mm. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do, man. I mean, we all want to decouple from the CCP, you know, but then again, at the same time, we still want growth for our country, you know, and cutting off an entire country, an entire source of potential growth for our economics. That's a tough one. But the CCP, man, they're just straight up annoying to deal with. You know,
You're not gonna have much choice. You're not gonna have much choice going in the future, you know.
mm, mm,
You can either
it's a
you
tough
can
one.
either you can either comply with the CCP, and they're always changing the rules. Today you
Oh,
comply with what they want, tomorrow they want more. Next week they're
always,
gonna want more.
always. But lately, the stuff that they've been doing, man, is not bright at all. None of it is smart. You know, they're just saying really stuff that riles up people and frustrates people, and they think they're saying smart words. They're not saying smart words, bro.
It's crazy. You know, the word diplomacy means to transmit information in a quiet, in a very delicate way so you don't create problem in a society. How do you want to communicate very clearly between two countries? But you don't want to create public problem, because if you create public problem, you're tying the hands of the government. The government may not want to do something, but they say, look, you made us lose face. Now we have to do something. So this is not diplomacy, man. This is playground. Just little
Mm,
kids, man. The little kids, they're talking like this.
that's right, man. This whole pandemic thing is really hurting a lot of countries. I mean, that is obvious. It's an obvious statement. This pandemic is really buggering global economics, and Australia is not immune or in a privileged bubble like their leader, Scoremore, likes to claim. Their economy is slipping into deflation.
Yeah, man, this is a big problem, because Australia, they can't afford to be weak because they're next door to China. If they're weak, their economy weak, that means they
Mm.
can't defend themselves.
But
So
man, they've always been, a bit weak.
it's
They're
true.
always someone's lapdog, man.
Historically, Australia and the USA, they discovered about the same time. Yeah, I think in the late 1700s, about the
Mm,
same time. They both have a similar, makeup. They both come from British country, but
mm-hmm,
Australia and USA diverge. First,
mm,
USA is start to accept many different immigrants from many area in Europe,
mm-hmm,
and they're being more open. Their population was growing faster. They're more open to new idea,
mm-hmm,
and the people of America, they have different ideas. They did a Bill of Rights. They did
mm-hmm,
independent. They
mm-hmm,
were more forward thinking.
mm-hmm.
Australia hadn't much change since Federation, to be honest, since
Well,
they
well,
become a one country.
what do you expect, bro? You know,
They're
they
trying
were
their best.
populated by convicts.
No,
What do
man,
you expect, bro?
they try the best, I guess. They're trying their best, but one country, they both about the same size, America, USA. Actually, Australia had more natural resources than the USA. Australia
Mm-hmm,
is more rich,
mm-hmm,
and the position of Australia is more good than the USA. It's an
mm-hmm,
island, more secure.
mm-hmm,
USA had wars between Canada and Mexico,
mm-hmm,
many problems, Spanish War,
mm-hmm,
Spanish American, the position of Australia is the most strategic and very secure position in the whole world. But it
mm-hmm,
didn't come to nothing compared to USA, USA world superpower, Australia not even top 20.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, so this deflation big problem, The Australia Consumer Price Index it fall to 1.9%. It put the nation into the first state of deflation for the first time in 22 years. The Bureau of Statistics, they
mm-hmm.
said the quarterly slump in June was the largest fall in 72 years since it has
Wow.
been recording the country's inflation. We don't even have any statistic before that is bigger than this. So
Mm-hmm,
maybe this is the biggest in 100 years. We don't know.
mm-hmm,
This they call it CPI, Consumer Price Index. It
mm-hmm,
measures Australia's inflation and how fast the economy is growing to consumer consumption. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, Australia's annual inflation was negative 0.3%. So the
mm,
economy is starting to contract. This very dangerous deflation is like cancer for the economy.
mm,
Deflation is the word. Look what happened to Japan when they had inflation.
mm,
Deflation. Deflation
mm-hmm,
destroy the economy. It destroy it from the inside.
mm-hmm,
You need inflation. If
mm,
any of the readers, the listeners, they want to know why, you can read about economist John Maynard Keynes and why he explained why deflation is so bad and why you need inflation.
mm.
So yeah, that's the problem, man. I don't know how this man, what's his name, Scormore?
Scoremore.
Yeah, I
But
don't
I
know.
think his real
President
name,
Scormore.
yeah, his real name Scott Morrison.
To Australian, they keep changing the prime minister, the president. I'm confused. Fuck.
I know, I know. See, Australia, they have the advantage, and they're very close friends with New Zealand government. They even, a couple of months ago, they even were talking about a trans-Tasman bubble where they could bubble themselves from the rest of the world and share their resources amongst each other,
Why
and
didn't they
generate
do it?
their own economy.
Why didn't they do it? New Zealand destroyed the virus, so why didn't Australia go in the bubble?
Because they got some weird people down in a state called Victoria. This state is down in the bottom, the southern end of their continent.
Yeah,
And it seems like they've got a big outbreak there. They're tracking like weak terms of against comparison to the rest of the world. Their outbreak is nothing, but their daily numbers are escalating around 600 or 500, even up to 700 new cases a day. For them, those are big numbers compared to, say, New South Wales, where the city of Sydney, the largest city in the country, is situated in. Sydney records maybe something like 20 new cases a day.
yeah,
So, in comparison to Victoria, there's some big numbers. And it's because the people down there, they're not very bright, man. They have people that call themselves anti-maskers. I guess they're following from the larger group over in the United States that don't believe that the coronavirus is actually a real virus. They think
Are they
that the
crazy, man?
they think, man, that the government has made up the, all governments around the world have made up this fake virus in order to close borders and take people's rights away from them. That's what they think, man. That's the world that they are living in.
They're out
And
of their
so
mind.
and
They're out
so
of
they,
their
they want,
fucking mind.
I don't know. I mean, Australia is considered an educated country, right? It's a it's a developed country, but they still produce these kind of human beings that go to school, but then out of school, it's like they're just animals. They're human beings by species instead of intelligence.
No, this is not about education. Many
No.
people in the world is fucking stupid, and it's not about rich or poor. Look at the
Mm,
anti-vax people,
mm-hmm,
anti-vaccine.
mm-hmm,
Some of them is very rich, Hollywood movie star. Some of
mm-hmm.
them, doctor, lawyer, even
This is true.
crazy.
This is
And
true.
the anti-vaccine, anti-measles, they think measles was a joke, government plot. It's
Man.
crazy. There's dumb people, a lot of dumb people.
One, this is a good point that you raise. On the latest news, right? Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic,
Yeah, man.
he's he's number one, number two tennis player in the world, right? I don't
My
know what
my
his current
cousin know
rank
him,
is.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You know what? He's an anti-vaxxer, bruv. Did you know this?
No, if I see him, I will tell him, "You're fucking stupid. You fucking idiot."
I think you will be doing the world justice by educating him in that
I,
fashion, bruv.
I will tell him,
He,
just stick to the tennis court, not the law court, not the medical court. You
but,
fucking
but,
idiot.
but this is the problem, man. So what he went up and did was he created a new tournament during the pandemic. I can't remember the name of this tournament, okay? And he invited some European tennis players, top 10 kind of players. And then he had COVID-19, bruv. And he spread it to five other players, man.
And he
And
playing
then
there with the
that's how it came out that he's actually an anti-vaxxer kind of person because he said he didn't in later interviews he said that he didn't believe that COVID-19 was real. He went out and partied with people. He just kept quiet about it. Man, it's- like you said, it's not about education. It's just some people, they're just animals. That's that's just it, plain and simple.
not not rational, man. Illogical.
Hmm.
Fuck.
Which brings me to our next point. Just when we thought things couldn't get any worse with the coronavirus, right? We start to get some of the planet of the ape shit, man. Like baboons carrying knives and chainsaws. They've been spotted in the UK safari park, man. I mean, why? Why, bruv? What
Yeah,
are what
man.
are apes? What are apes doing with knives and chainsaws?
It's fucking crazy, man. Did you see the video? Did
Yeah,
the
man.
the apes in Knowsley Safari Park in Merseyside. Good people. I know some people from Merseyside. They're very good people next to Liverpool, north
Mm-hmm.
of England.
Mm-hmm.
These apes, they're already known for their destructive ability. They've been pictured stealing stuff from the visitors' cars. They're stealing handbags, stealing luggage, doing
Man.
sexual harassment on the visitors. And
Oh
then
man.
one worker, he told the newspaper, "We're not sure if they are being given the weapon by the guests who want to see them attacking cars, or if they're just fishing them out of the pickup truck, out of the van." The worker said these apes, they sometimes go into people's toolboxes, they grab whatever they can, they're grabbing, even holding a chainsaw. The one of the baboon, he's running around with a chainsaw. You know,
Man,
they're causing damage to people's cars. Even one mechanic, he telling the newspaper that they have to repair cars which is damaged by these apes. They're damaging the cars, these monkeys. You know.
man. That's why you can't lock up animals, man. You can't lock up wild, small animals like primates. You know, they have the intelligence of like a teenager. That's not dumb, man. And we have dumber adults than that.
Yeah, man. This is true, man. This is true.
Man, that's crazy stuff. Man, how can these baboons be using human weapons? Like, was Planet of the Apes a prediction of the future?
Yeah, I don't. He's starting to look like it, man. He's starting to look like the monkey is becoming more intelligent now, and also mean.
Yeah, man. Like, what if the coronavirus kills humans, but makes
Yeah.
monkeys and
Oh,
baboons and primates super intelligent, man?
oh,
Imagine that scenario.
oh, fuck.
Man, we'll be really
Now
living in Planet of the Apes.
I'm a little bit scared, man.
They're
You
stronger.
know,
Physically, the gorilla, they're gonna take out any man. It doesn't matter if you know Krav Maga. It doesn't matter if you do MMA. It doesn't matter if you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It doesn't matter. How the fuck are you gonna fight a gorilla, man? A silverback, man. A
yeah.
silverback holding a hammer, man. Imagine that.
Shit, man. What?
And a helmet, man. Imagine a silverback with a helmet in armor and an axe coming at you. How you gonna throw up a triangle choke or arm bar that silverback?
Nobody gonna fighting MMA with a gorilla, man. And if the gorilla is armed, he going. What's next? They're going to learn a gun or bow and arrow? Fucking taking weapons and shit. This is fucking very, very dangerous. The situation getting out of control, you know?
Hmm. Some good and positive news around the coronavirus stuff, man. We have a front runner in the race of developing a COVID-19 vaccine, man.
Yeah, man, I heard from your country, England, Oxford University.
Hmm. You understand, fam? Already, it's in three late stages of their trials. They have become the leading candidate. The chair of the UK vaccine task force, her name is Kate Bingham. She said they were a long way ahead of the field. Her own words, the Oxford study will have likely vaccinated all their efficacy subjects before any of the other vaccines actually start their big efficacy trials. So that just gives you a scale of how ahead they are versus, these other companies.
You're British, man. You're smart people. But you know what is really interesting about this development in Oxford University?
Hmm.
This is why I always say we need to put more money into science and technology, into
Hmm.
university. But
Hmm.
this is interesting because this vaccine allows the human body to create antibody against this virus. This will last more than a few months, which is what the competition are resulting in. Just a few month vaccine, not good
Hmm.
enough.
Hmm.
This Oxford University, they're calculating their vaccine could protect from this virus for about a year, which is much more achievable, you know, man.
Hmm. Much like our
Much more than.
seasonal flu virus vaccines.
You know, maybe we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. As long as those apes don't get too strong, you know.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully. So then there's this British pharmaceutical company, right? They're called AstraZeneca. They're currently building an international supply chain so they can distribute this vaccine when it becomes available. Because just having a vaccine doesn't mean you're gonna be racing against time still to try and get it throughout the whole world. How many billions of people live on this planet, man? Like what's the latest numbers?
Do you know? I think it's about 7 billion.
7 billion people. You're gonna have to give 7 billion doses a year, every year, man. That's the reality. That's the scale, you know? So they've been saying that 2 billion doses of the vaccines have already been ordered. Now, each one, it costs about the same price as a cup of coffee. That's
Man,
not bad, bruv.
that's very good. That's very good compared to the damage the virus has caused. It's very
Mm,
cheap.
mm. And they're saying that human trials of the vaccine began in the UK back in April, extending the trial to participants in South Africa in June. So, what are we? We're in August now, man. They're way ahead of the schedule. So they're thinking about, maybe around October, it's going to be available and it's going to be they're going to start sending it out. And through that time, it's going to be from October to around maybe first quarter of 2021 that everyone will be vaccinated or a large portion of the world will be vaccinated. So maybe by mid next year, things can return to normal, man.
I think we have to return to normal, but with one bigger lesson. We need
Mm,
two things important. One, we need to continue to spend the money on science, technology, university research. I know the population of this world, they don't like smart people. Nobody likes smart people, but we have to give smart people money so that they can do medicine, so
mm,
they can do technology. We need to spend money on research and development, you know?
mm-hmm,
And number
mm-hmm.
two, we shouldn't manufacture this vaccine in China, otherwise they will fuck us.
Man, you know what we should actually do against the CCP? Vaccinate the entire world and skip the fucking CCP, man. It's bad for the citizens, I know, but hey, maybe the citizens need to rise up against their government. I know there's a lot of unhappy citizens there. They've got, man, numbers wise, they outnumber the people in government, the people in power. Their soldiers are their own brothers, their own sisters, their own cousins, their family members. But this is human history. The powerful are always a smaller number that dominate, the general population. It's a sad. I don't understand this concept, man. It doesn't make sense to me. How can they not rise up and overthrow the government? In the end, they're just pussies, man.
Yeah, but the government is very brutal, in China. They're killing people
Yeah, they're
left and
killing,
right.
but who's killing people, man? It's the
Soldier.
soldiers. Yeah, and the soldiers are brothers and cousins of people in general citizens.
They don't care, man. They don't care. And many of them is police. Do you know, they're selecting the police purely because the police, they like killing people. They select people from society. They like killing. They give them a badge. Here, go kill the people.
Man, strange world. Hey,
It could
but you know
happen,
what
man.
else is strange?
China have many revolution in the past. It could happen.
Their revolution never successful, man. But they
Yeah,
should. The people need to wake up. Let's look at what they're doing with Hong Kong. It's not right, man. You can't do that in this day and age.
yeah. I think
But
they're doing it.
mm, but speaking of weird stuff, just because you're in a free world or a developed country like the United States doesn't mean there's not weird stuff. Elon Musk, he's a very popular dude. Everybody knows about him.
Yeah.
He challenged Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is an actor. He's a very popular dude too. Challenged
He
him to a
punched
cage
him.
fight.
What?
Yeah, man. After
Yeah.
Mr. Johnny threatened to cut off Elon Musk's penis.
Yeah, man. They call Johnny call him Elon Mollusk, like a crab,
Oh, that. Yeah, like that seashell creature, man.
Elon Mollusk. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
man.
Elon, he denied Johnny Depp allegation that Johnny had a affair with his wife Amber Heard when they
Mm,
was together. So I
mm,
think that's why Elon he upset. If
mm,
someone sleep with your wife, you're gonna be upset. And Elon sometimes he play on Twitter too much. He get emotional. He
mm,
shouldn't do it in Twitter. He shouldn't do. If it is true that Johnny sleep with Elon's wife, this not right. But also, Elon need to respect himself. Why you go on Twitter threatening to fight in a cage? It's
mm,
crazy.
man.
You're a CEO of a company, public company.
Mm. Some crazy stuff have been coming out of the court case around Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You know, that stuff has been going on for the last couple of weeks now over there in the States.
This is what happen when you don't have prenuptial agreement.
Mm. Well, it's money. It's not really about money. It's about defamation. Like Johnny Depp is trying to defend himself because Amber Heard came out and said in the media that Johnny Depp was abusive towards her in their short marriage. And then Johnny Depp's like, no, 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 that didn't happen. And then they start digging up photos, digging up videos, and then Elon Musk got dug up, and then Johnny Depp was accusing Elon Musk of having an affair with Amber, and then Elon Musk is like, no, no, that's not true. Let's fight. That's pretty funny, man.
And then Johnny Depp, he said he gonna cut his dick off. Do you know Johnny is famous. He's very good with a knife. Many people don't know this. He's
Mm,
very good hand to hand with a knife fighting. So be careful. Someone little guy, but if you're good with a knife, don't fuck.
mm, I know. Man, you know what we should do? Well, what you should do over there, man, is create a promotion. I know in the past they had a promotion called Celebrity Fight Night with Play-Doh, when and voiceovers of celebrities that have beef with each other. They had this Play-Doh cartoon thing and they make them fight. But with UFC going mainstream these days and MMA being widely accepted over there in the United States, considered as a sport, there should be a promotion called, something to do with the celebrities that have beef with each other. They're able to get in the ring and fight each other. That would be mad fun, man. And it'll be consensual between the two adults. There's nothing wrong with putting on some gloves and get them to do a boxing match. You can have Elon Musk punching Johnny Depp. Be really funny, man.
It would be kind of funny. It would be kind of funny.
Hmm.
I maybe look into it. I maybe look into it. We can do some gambling maybe and do some side business maybe. I
Hmm.
think I can do some stuff. Call my friends. They're in the power tool business as well. We can maybe we
Mm-hmm.
can do some sort of a blood sport, fighting, no full contact, no holds barred, and just sign some disclaimer. If someone die in the ring is acceptable. We host it
Man, that's
our
too brutal,
international.
man. That's
Oh
too brutal, man. We can't do that in this day and age.
no, oh,
No, man. That's the whole point as to why
is that illegal?
MMA of yeah, man. It's
Just here,
illegal, bro.
it's illegal.
It's
Oh,
illegal, bro. That's why
okay.
MMA
I
has
will
been
talk to my friend.
struggling these days to try and clear that blood sport stigma and go mainstream sports. That's the that's their idea, man. You know, Maybe you can host it in certain countries like the Abu Dhabi, the UFC, to get around this whole pandemic issue where they can't get their international fighters to go into America and fight each other. They've been creating this, fight island on Yas Island in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi, amazing. They're holding events for the international fighters.
He says a similar style to Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is the lightweight champion at the moment. Now, so he's from Chechnya. You know, I think he's Muslim as well. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just trying to describe his style. He has a
Yeah.
wrestling based style.
Okay.
And then back in the time when Conor and Khabib, had that Twitter beef, he Conor called Khabib's wife a towel. This is very very rude
Very
because
rude, man.
women in the Muslim culture, or Islamic culture, Islamic religion, they wear hijab that covers their face, covers their head.
Connor called him a towel.
Called her
He
a
called
towel,
her a
man.
towel.
Called her a
Come on,
towel.
man.
So
That's amazing.
Kamzat said in an interview this week, right? He said he was so angry that he decided to go on his own search and destroy mission. He claimed that he flew to Dublin
To do
just to
what? To
find,
look for
just to
Connor?
just to look for him, man, and fight him on the streets. But he said he got detained at the airport. So apparently he actually flew there but couldn't leave the airport. Obviously, he didn't have a reason. He didn't have a good reason to be in that country.
That's stupid, man. He should just fight in the ring. You beat him in the ring. Don't beat him outside so you can go to jail. That fucking this dumb.
It's
This
it's
dumb.
not it's not very bright, but it's the street. It's the world of the streets, man. He did it. I mean, he can't get a fight with McChicken. It's not possible. McChicken is a lightweight boy. Comes up. He's a welterweight boy, so he's a heavier boy. But it was just funny, man. Comes up. I like him. You keep an eye out on him, man. You
He
will be
ballsy.
hearing his name more in the future.
He ballsy. He sounded ballsy.
He's a good fighter, man. He's undefeated at the moment in UFC. He's like 8-0 or 9-0. I don't remember exactly.
What a killer.
He's an up and coming young fighter, man. He's good. Khabib is back in training. He went through a period of mourning over the death of his father. His father, unfortunately, passed away from health complications that were triggered by the COVID-19. Because it's very bad over there in Russia. So now he has a date to fight a guy called Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is well deserved for this. He had a fight with a guy named Tony Ferguson, also known as the El Cucuy. El
Yeah,
Cucuy,
man.
the boogeyman, isn't it, man? Boogeyman in Mexican.
Pretty much. Baba Yaga. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I heard he's having rumors of fighting GSP. Is this
Yeah,
true?
man.
Is that
Yeah,
true?
man. They're talking about this. If Khabib on the 24th of October beats Justin Gaethje, he probably only has one more fight to do, and then Khabib is going to leave. He's going to retire. So Dana White has come out and says because he loves Khabib now, right? Originally he loved McChicken, but McChicken said he's retired. So now his love has been very conveniently transferred over to Khabib. Okay, he said he will do anything for Khabib's last fight. If Khabib wants to fight GSP, then he's going to allow it to, try and make it happen.
He gonna
GSP
try? He just gonna try? But he
is
owned
going
he owned the whole company. How you he gonna try? Shouldn't he be able to say yes, yes mean yes?
because Dana White is a liar, bro. He says a lot of things and then doesn't exactly do it when the time comes for it.
All
That's just the
talk.
way he is.
Just
He's
good for
all talk.
talking and eating.
Man, yeah, man. Exactly. And GSP though, GSP has said that, GSP is retired. He said he will come back in with a fighter like Khabib because he's attracted to something like that. He thinks Khabib is the perfect fighter at the moment. Khabib is what is his record? He's like 29-0, man.
Shit.
He's undefeated through his amateur days all the way through to his professional days. Yeah.
Do you think GSP can win?
I think this will be the hardest fight of Khabib's career. He may lose to GSP. I don't know. GSP is the bigger guy. You know, Khabib is a lightweight fighter, a lightweight champion. GSP was the welterweight champion. So, and then when you got two guys that have that are experts in their art, the main difference comes down to weight. That plays a big part. You got two experienced fighters. If one is a bigger guy, then he has the advantage.
Gonna be blood match. Sound like it.
Hmm. El Kakui, in the meantime, because he lost to Justin Gaethje, he's happy, he said, to be fighting a guy called Dustin Poirier to whoop his butt and to also whoop the butt of McChicken Nuggets. You know, Tony Ferguson is the guy that started calling Conor McGregor McChicken Nuggets. He's the one that said it, man.
That's pretty
But
funny.
but
It's
McChicken
funny.
now, yeah, man. I mean, but the reason why he's called McChicken is because he has fights over big names, and quite luckily, he has won those fights. But then he never rematches it, you know. And so these guys are calling
The
him a
prices.
chicken. He wins by these lucky flash knockouts. And like I've been saying before, you fight those same guys even 3 times. You're not gonna defeat them the same way 3 times. They're gonna fight and beat you and win 2 out of those 3 times. You know. But so he dodges fighters. So Tony Ferguson calls him McChicken. And also, funny enough, over in Dagestan, there was a chicken supplier, like a butcher. They put the packaging on their chickens. They put the face of
Conor
Conor McGregor.
McGregor chicken.
Yes, man. That's
Very good.
that's very
I will
good,
buy
man.
this chicken. I will buy this chicken. Maybe the chicken clock more than Conor McGregor.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Fuck. That's funny, man. That's very funny.
Also in this week, man, there's another up and coming fighter that's been making a lot of news in the media. Not necessarily for his fights. I mean, his fights they're very good. He's an up and coming guy. He's only 25 years old, but you gotta keep an eye out for this name, man. His name is Sugar Sean O'Malley. He's been making news headlines because he's kind of anti UFC a little bit, UFC has this deal with Reebok. Reebok
Yeah.
has it provides the sponsorship money. So all the UFC fighters, they're not allowed to get sponsors from outside. They have to they can only be sponsored by Reebok. And then Reebok each year pays a sum to the UFC. I can't remember how much this sum was. The UFC then distributes this money to the fighters. Okay? So the fighters don't have a say, Reebok don't have a say. UFC distributes this money. Sugar Sean O'Malley comes out and says, "Hey, I'm a young guy, up and coming fighter. I'm very popular, but because of the criteria to even get paid the Reebok money, the largest sums of it, which is, you know, your term in the UFC and your rank in the UFC, because he doesn't have those two criterias,
Yeah.
he doesn't make good money from Reebok. So he decides to go out and create his own basketball jerseys. These basketball jerseys, it's just green because he's Irish. His surname's O'Malley. It's just a
Oh,
green.
that's kind of boring, man.
It's kind of boring, but man, he sold out in seconds. When he created
Shit.
the site, he sold out in seconds. It wasn't even
He's a
minutes, man.
businessman. He's
He
a businessman.
he's smart, dude. So he created 102 jerseys, okay, with the number 0 all the way to 100. All those jerseys sold out. Then he created some limited edition jerseys with the number 69 and the number 420, 420, because he likes to smoke weed. Guess
What
what,
does it
bro?
mean? What's 420 mean?
420 is the code for marijuana.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just street lingo, bro. He
okay.
so the he those two jerseys, man, he auctioned those off for over 2 grand each. He made a lot of money just from the number 69 and 420. Each one of his
The,
jerseys sold for $200 each month. So he's done well for himself. He said, "Fuck Reebok. I don't care about them no more. I'm gonna create my own merch and sell my own stuff."
what is the UFC gonna do to him?
I don't think UFC has a claim in this. I think he's allowed to do this because he's not saying I'm with Nike, I'm with Adidas, or with anyone else. All he's
He just
done,
make his own.
he just made his own shirt, man, with his
He's
name
clever.
on it. That's all he did.
He's clever.
Yeah, there's no branding on it. It just says O'Malley and a number. And he just did a number from 0 all the way to 100, $200 each.
He's clever, man.
Mm, he's a popular dude, man. Speaking of prices, you know this Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. boxing match, this exhibition match. Do you know how
Yeah.
much they're selling it for over there in the United States, bro?
I don't think it's too expensive, is it?
Well, yeah, like they priced it well. They're selling it for 49.99 US greenbacks. So let's
That's
call it 50.
not a. It's not a bad price.
It's not a bad price. However, it is kind of borderline, because this is not a real boxing match.
Oh, is
It's
it?
just an
Mm,
exhibition match.
it's a little bit high for exhibition.
It's a little bit hard, but then, it's all for charity. It's borderline. So to put it into comparison, Tyson Fury, when he fought Deontay Wilder, that pay-per-view was about $80.
Yeah.
And then that Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, that fight was $99. So pretty pricey, huh?
That's pretty expensive, man.
Hmm.
It's very expensive, man. It's too
Hmm.
expensive.
Would you pay?
Um, I think I paid the price just to see Tyson in the ring again. I think
Yeah,
I
man.
paid the price just to see because it's been a long time. Tyson used to be very fun to watch him fight. He was cool,
Hmm.
Before he went crazy, when he started spending money like Skittle. He
And
used to
he
be
started
very
raping
fun
women.
to watch.
Before he was raping women.
Is that what he did, man? I didn't know.
He went to jail for rape, man. But
I'm
then
not
he got
informed, man.
out. He got out
I'm
on
not.
parole.
I'm
It's
not
quite
informed. I
interesting.
I didn't know. Fuck.
Yeah, man. You know, back then, I don't condone rape. Rape is not good. And his defense was, man, he was a fighter. His body was pumped with, you know, testosterone. So it just made him an animal. And when he wanted women, he was like a predator, man. It's not good.
He not behave himself. That's bad.
He not behave himself. That's exactly the point, man. Pause.
I'll cut it out. Don't worry.
Go cut. No, no, it's fine. I didn't. What do you want?
Man, you heard about the new Benz AMG GT Black Series 2021? It's premiered around the world a couple weeks ago, It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
man.
What did you think?
Oh,
I
man,
want to know what you think first.
man. I love that car. Man, I wish if I was a millionaire, if I won lotto, okay, depending on how much lotto I won. But over there in America, man, when you guys win lotto, man, it's like $700 million, $500 million. That's a lot of money. I will
It's a
take
big
some of
deal.
that money and I will buy this Mercedes Benz AMG GT Black Series, man.
It's got an aggressive stance, the
It
way he
looks cool,
sits.
man. Yeah, man. It's got that front grille. I really like that front grille, man.
It's wide body, flat, very
Mm-hmm.
aggressive car.
Mm-hmm.
Very wedge shape,
Mm.
and low to the ground. The
Mm-hmm.
way his headlights, whoa, and the engine, man, the engine is crazy. Do you
Mm.
hear the sound of the engine?
Oh man, love it, bro.
They really tune the engine for nice satisfaction. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't sound like a toy car.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk car, there's kind of cool, high performance, but it has no sound, man. This,
Sounds like a
eh,
remote control car, man.
yeah, man.
Like that, man.
It sounds like it on Star Wars,
Oh
and
yeah, man.
it's kind of cool. And but sometimes you want a little bit, some lambada music. The engine is a music,
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Mm.
For muffler, for exhaust pipe, it's good car, man.
It's cheaper than a Ferrari, man.
But what is performance compared to Ferrari? Same level?
Same level, man. Same market, but it's like £250,000 cheaper. No, sorry, it's like £250,000. That's how much it is. Versus a Ferrari is like what? You're talking 1 million, even a few million. You're
Yeah,
talking like McLarens. They're like they're supercars. I don't know if they consider this AMG GT Black Series a supercar, but performance-wise, man, I think it can match. They're typical GT series though. I mean, there's a lot of variations there. Not as many variations as Porsche. The Porsche 911s, there's like maybe 12 or 13 variations. This doesn't have so much, but the base start from the GT. Okay, just some. I mean, it's all from the same engine, the same powertrain. It's this M178 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine, and then they just tweak it for their variants.
yeah.
So this base GT, right? Just some basic numbers: 350 kilowatts, 630 Newton meters. And then you go to the GTS, okay? So now it's 384 kilowatts and then 671 Newton meters. It's just a
That's
little bit more.
fucking unreal.
A
The
little
numbers
bit
is
more.
crazy though.
Man, it's crazy numbers. But that's not even the mid-market range, bruv. That's just that's that's like a marketing thing, man. They put up that little bit of more performance and then they price it about $15,000 more. So it's kind of like, well, why do I want a GT when I can get a GTS for just $15,000 more, right? And then they came out with this GTC. The GTC is supposed to be faster than the S, even though C doesn't sound like it's faster. The C spits out another nearly 30 kilowatts and also more than the GTS. And then that's priced a little bit more. Then it really jumps. It goes to the GTR. GTR's at 430 kilowatts with 700 Newton meters of torque, right? And
Yeah.
that's like your performance. That's like your track car right there. And now Black Series. Man, Black Series is a beast. It blows all of that out of the water because it produces 537 kilowatts and 800 Newton meters, man. That's crazy stuff compared to the base level, which was only 350. So this thing goes from 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds, man. Imagine that. 3.2 seconds. Crazy
Unbelievable.
stuff.
That's like getting in a rocket spaceship.
Yeah, man. Imagine driving around in that. You don't need that stuff day to day. How you gonna go shopping in that, man?
Somebody gonna fuck up your car though. I would be scared to take it driving.
Yo, you righteous people out there, keep safe. Keep doing what you're doing, and join us next time to digest all the week's events again. Much love to you all. Later, brother Sanchez.
Adios, Dr. Wagwan. Adios, man.
Alla mattina appena alzate, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Alla mattina appena alzate, in risa gli amico canta. E fra gli insetti e le zanzare, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E fra gli insetti e le zanzare, un dur lavoro mi tocca fare.